he was losing on thousands of dollars, I could understand. If he's losing out $50 that weekend, and by the way, it's a very high estimate. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Just take the fucking loss and wait till Monday, man. But no. He has to Chicken Little himself and put up a 3-part emergency series on his KO gaming channel, which he probably had another secret fucking AdSense for that channel too. Now think back to a month or two ago. Do you remember that string of pre-streams where he said he doesn't ever stream The Sky is Falling, and that you never see him panic and Chicken Little himself? And I remember one of them for sure, because that's the day he pulled out that piece of paper with the crayon.
The hourglass and become keeper of time. My next task was to restart history.
Where is my mouse?
Not beholden to past events.
I see it.
I was free to craft a new era. It was with humility and restraint that I approached this blank canvas. After careful preparation, I began work.
What the hell?
Painting over the
That was my
darkness.
mouse.
After eons passed, I sketched out the realms.
There it is.
After eons more,
I don't know.
I brushed them in with life. In my new
There
era,
we go. Okay.
all beings will have the
a mess.
opportunity to find peace. Whether or not they do will be their responsibility. For my power only permits me to begin this endeavor. It is the duty of mortals to finish it.
How you doing today, Fantasy? How you doing today, Fantasy? Oh shit. Sometimes. Ah, 11-0.
People are like, you're never well, like, shit. Thank you.
Round one.
Holy man. Cool. You're definitely a Smurf.
Round 2. Fight.
Sure, buddy. You're not really that good. You just are smurfing.
Lee may win.
But I'm not really interested in a tryhard this morning.
Round 1. Fight.
I can't. Sure. Sure, you're able to travel that fucking far.
Round 2. Fight. Final round. Fight.
Why can't I? Oh my god. What? What? That went through? Fucking. Oh my god, this is so dumb. Why do I play this stupid fucking game?
Sub-Zero wins.
Fucking bullshit, you're terrible. How do you figure? Isn't the teleport supposed to get me out of the way? Now fucking put me in the way? And I was still blocking low.
Round 2.
Fucking
Fight.
bullshit.
I am the chosen one.
Final round. Fight.
Oh. And that hit. And that fucking hit. And that hit too.
Liu Kang wins. Round 1. Fight.
And that hit like that. Wow. Sure, I can't uppercut the fucking anti-air. Sure, we'll do it.
Round 2. Fight.
How does that fucking hit? than the stupid.
Finish him.
No, like I'm not watching this. Like I don't need to watch a fatality. Just fucking win and call it a day.
Round one, fight.
Never. I've been never letting go of block, and yet I still get hit by all this garbage. That's
Round two, fight.
Singed by dragon fire.
Final round, fight.
it wouldn't let me armor? The fuck ever! Huh? Why wouldn't it?
Smoke rings.
Actually is right.
Round one, fight.
Fucking block low, 'cause I knew that was coming.
Final round. Fight.
Sure. No. Fuck you.
Finish him. Liu Kang wins. Round one. Fight.
I am the chosen one.
Round two. Fight. Fight.
I am the chosen one.
Round 2. Fight.
I have nothing to prove.
Final round. Fight.
Say this is one of the best, fastest, funkiest, and the strongest build I ever. I made this from my previous energy shield stacking Mortal Strike trickster that you saw earlier. What's up guys? Bridget here. This is my build of the league, easily the strongest build I ever made. This is the final form of my Amphiar Edge Energy Shield stacking trickster. We're talking about 85 million damage per second, 25 million Uber boss DPS, while we also nearly immortal. Only Uber Maven memory game can kill us, but we can cheese with Warlock armor. As you can see, it deletes everything that have a life bar above his head. The question is how we reach that much damage and tankiness. The easiest way to get more damage and survivability in a build, level to 100. So I spent my weekend leveling up, then made a few changes on the tree. This is cost nearly nothing, just a few ringgit. But the eye-catching thing is the flasks. Yes, I found the mage with my magic finder, so it would be bad not to using it. So I added to the beer. Because of that, we can just increase the flask effect by 95% and add a few moves.
Recharging my shield. 1 second. Recharging my shield. 1 second. Recharging my shield. Don't worry about me. Frag out.
Help me! What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, a bomb in the hand's worth 2 in the arena.
Come on, bro. Dude, there's...
Recharging my shield. Don't worry about me. Recharging my shield.
I fucking jumped down. What the?
A bomb in the hands.
Whatever, bro. Oh my god.
Halfway to the win. Recharging my shield.
Of course, no help once again.
Match your weapons to your strategy. That's what I do.
Recharging shields.
Hospitals will be empty when they know this secret. A single glass of this is enough to cleanse the kidneys, the skin, and is the most complete of all. I will show you step by step how to prepare it. For this home remedy, we will need 2 lemons, well washed and with peel. Cut the kidneys into small pieces. They fulfill a very important function in our body.
I spent $1 million Stardust on this team. It better work out. First, we got a Ampharos into a.
Yeah. Just trying to get by the end of.
Y'all talking about?
I am not trying to.
Bust down, bust it down on the I love
Calling on rush out.
see what Snapchat, see what Instagram.
Not get out.
Then go in over strategy. I am ready for
Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at DSP addressing 1 Minute Man's concern about the Mike Plum documentary. I know that I personally haven't made a video or talked about the Mike Plum documentary at all on this channel because honestly, as of right now, I don't think it really matters all that much. It is several months out at this point, and I don't have any particular say in what does and doesn't go into the documentary. But while I'm interested in it, and I am excited to see it when it does eventually come out, especially because I did enjoy the Boogie doc. I didn't exactly feel inclined to make videos about it, speculating what could and couldn't be, or whether or not I think that Mike is going to do a good job. But a bit of time has passed, and I do have a few things to talk about when it comes to the subject, and apparently so did 1 Minute Man. I'm not sure why recently 1 Minute Man has felt inclined to leave messages in his daily tips, but I wish he would really quit.
So, in this case, being that I trust 1 Minute Man, I've been a supporter for how many years, we're going to count it. So it's a $25 tip for 1 Minute Man, okay? Okay. I think this is actually a quick and good topic to cover, alright?
Well, if we've learned anything about DSP since we started talking about him, it's that when he says that he's going to cover something quick, it never is. He always manages to repeat himself for the umpteenth time and go way into detail about things that nobody actually asked about. And that's especially true when he himself says that the subject is going to be a good thing to talk about. It's kind of like you can just take whatever DSP says and then just think the exact opposite and you're going to be right most of the time. The man has the worst opinions and takes on the planet.
Because, but here's what 1 Minute Man has to say. In regards to your upcoming documentary, if this entire thing just becomes a he said, she said, and there's no way to prove anything either way, it's just going to be fodder for detractors and no benefit to you at all. First of all, I want you to understand something. This documentary is not for my detractors. My detractors already have 500 documentaries. You understand? And they're all 100% negative, 0 positive. No pushback. No other perspective. It's literally just 100%. Here's a bunch of negative stuff about Phil. That's not what this documentary is whatsoever.
I don't think that any of the documentaries that are online about you, DSP, are necessarily for detractors. And I also don't think that it's entirely coincidental that every single documentary, quote unquote, that's been done about you that is online kind of comes to the same conclusion at the end of the day. There is a reason that these people are consistently coming to the same conclusion. It's because when you look at your behavior on a grander scale, everyone thinks the same things about you. You are a narcissistic, manipulative, lying, con artist of a man. And anybody that can dress themselves in the morning can see right through all of that shit that you put in front of them and see who you really are. But I do genuinely think that there will be positive moments in the Mike Plum documentary. That doesn't mean that I think that this documentary is actually going to benefit you, though, because even when DSP thinks that something is positive and shows him in a good light, it's still DSP at the end of the day. You can still see the scam and the scum underneath. And that holds true to any project that DSP is involved in. Look no further than some of his recent projects. I mean, DSP Reacts is just an excuse so he can watch watch other people's content and get paid to do it. DSP Throwbacks is another really good example of this. Any other content creator managing to revive their old content and make it more accessible and easier for people to see in the modern day would always be a positive. But whenever DSP talks about it, you can very clearly see that he's only interested in the money and complaining about how much work it is. And that's before you even start to address the actual content that he is re-uploading. Because that commentary from back in the day is definitely not doing him any favors. I want to say that GTG said it best. And if he didn't say it, I'm going to attribute it to him anyway. But if you give DSP enough rope, he will hang himself every single time. You don't have to have any sort of pushback. Because DSP is his own worst enemy at the end of every single day. Commentary channels like mine and all of the podcasts and shows that the Detractor community puts on absolutely don't have to happen for DSP to still be hated on the internet. They're just fun and entertaining ways to point and laugh at the guy collectively instead of feeling like you're a crazy person by yourself.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, what you have to understand is that this documentary is not super long. This is not a 3-hour endeavor. These documentaries, like this Mike Plum documentary about me, will probably be on target, probably about an hour long. Okay? It's going to cover a tremendous amount of topics, including me growing up, what my life was like as a kid, how I got into gaming, how I got into competitive Street Fighter, how that influenced me in my earlier years, how that turned me into a young adult who was interested in games, how I got into YouTube, my history as a YouTuber. All of this stuff, there's going to be an entire day where I'm just going to be interviewed about my street as a YouTuber. And that information will be clipped up to be used as part of the documentary. You understand?
And if Mike Plum has any sort of sense in him, he will not allow that to be the majority or even half of what the documentary is actually about. Because nobody's really interested in your early days of Street Fighter. I'm sure it'll be covered, but I hope it's not as in-depth as he's making it sound like it's going to be. Because you were only slightly above average in the games that you actually tried in. You didn't win an EVO. You were never the best player there. Nobody in the community even liked you. You don't have any interesting stories to tell from the time. But he did mention that this documentary was going to cover what it was like for him growing up as a kid. And I think that that's very interesting given what he said when he first came to light and he confirmed this for the first time. Because he specifically said that he was going to be interviewing everybody, including his parents. Now, I don't think that his parents would necessarily give interviews that are going to paint him in a bad light. I mean, whose parents really would, right? But much like listening to DSP, sometimes it's not about what he's saying, and in this instance, what they're saying, but instead the entire spectacle around it. If he really does interview DSP's parents, this is like an exclusive first look at DSP's parents, right? You'll finally get to see Linda Burnell on camera talking about her baby boy, the big YouTuber, Philly. And you might even be able to see the disappointment in Dave Burnell's eyes when he talks about his son. Sorry, we got way off topic. I hope that he doesn't spend an extended period of time talking about DSP's mediocre Street Fighter professional career. That was the actual point to this interruption.
This is not, for an hour, it's everyone riffing on Phil, just get Phil's responses. That's not the point. In fact, when you're doing a documentary like this, okay, the whole point is to keep it moving and keep it interesting and to cover a wide variety of topics and information. Will there be segments in this documentary where basically things will be talked about that are negative? Yes. Will there be segments that are going to talk about all the controversial things that my detractors mentioned? Yes. Will it be dwelled upon and fully fleshed out and or hammered in? No.
Well, no, given the time constraints of
Okay, you gotta be.
That's actually impossible. You could do multiple full-length documentaries about every single DSP arc and overanalyze them all you want. But again, that would be multiple full-length documentaries. But DSP just confirmed himself that the entire point of the documentary, at least to keep it entertaining, is to keep it moving, keep the stories flowing, and continue moving from subject to subject. But I think that he fails to realize that the majority of his time spent on the internet, his 13-year legacy, has been absolutely riddled with controversy all the way through. There's a reason that channels like mine who talk almost exclusively about DSP can exist. And it's because DSP is always constantly doing something to one-up how terrible he can be. It's always a new saga. It's always a new arc. So pretty much once you quit talking about his early life and becoming a YouTuber and his early Street Fighter days, you're going to be embroiled with all of the controversy that DSP has had over the years. I mean, what else can he really even talk about? That he's been playing video games for live streams for an extended period period of time. That story lasts for all of 15 seconds and then it's over. That's not necessarily interesting to continuously talk about or go in depth on. I think that DSP's only hope in this really is that there's so many controversies, and when you go to a restaurant,
GG boys! GG boys! Who's your daddy? Ήμασταν τελευταίοι. Ήμασταν τελευταίοι στο τελευταίο 10 kills.
so many different things to cover that none of them get covered in a way that's too in-depth to make him look as bad as it really is. He's hoping that when they talk about WWE champions, that it goes so quickly that he doesn't have to show his account and he doesn't actually have to show any proof, that he can just, shrug it off and move on to the next topic. When they ask about his bankruptcy and the $5,000 in business expenses, he's hoping that he can just flub some numbers and Mike won't look all that in-depth into it because there's so many other things to talk about.
That's not the point of the documentary. You see? It's supposed to be an actual documentary about me and my life and all the struggles that I've had.
Is this your Lilith?
Yes, we're going to address all the negative stuff. It's all going to come out. There's going to be other perspectives. That's why Mike is talking to other people. If it were just me talking, this would be the most boring one-sided documentary. If it were just people who don't like me talking, this would be the most boring one-sided documentary. Do you see? If it were people who only like me talking and not me, like what if it was people who know me by that also would be boring.
I really only think that one of the scenarios that he laid out there is actually... factor content on the... So it really wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary for me. But on the complete polar opposite side of that, I would be absolutely delighted if you could somehow manage to get only the dents and people that DSP knows IRL to talk good about him. I think that in and of itself would be entertaining. Not only because you get to see the people that DSP actually knows in real life, and actually hear those real people talk about the guy like he's not some sort of internet enigma, but instead a real person. But also because DSP's fans are also very shrewd. And to be able to actually hear from any of them why they genuinely enjoy DSP content would be interesting.
Holy shit.
He absolutely hit the nail on the head. If the documentary was exclusively from his point of view and he was just sitting there talking about all of his, propaganda that he loves to push, I'd be bored out of my mind and it would not get my view whatsoever.
The whole point is to encompass the whole gamut of the entire... Why is the name Dark Side Phil a name that is so contentious and a name that people know on the internet? Why do people care about it? Do people really know the truth of me or just the meme of me? That's really what the documentary is going to be covering, you understand? A lot of this, you see what I'm saying? So, that's the point. I think these people are not getting it. They're thinking, it's just going to be the entire thing is he's going to reach out to Future USA and to this other person who doesn't like Phil. They're just going to rag on him for an hour, and we're just going to get his responses, and that's the documentary. That's not even close. Trust me, that's not even close to what this is at all.
Well, again, if Mike has any sense in his head, he will absolutely not talk to RTU. As big a name as RTU is on the internet for some reason, the dude's an absolute clown and dead and has no idea what he's talking about pretty much ever. And unfortunately for you...
No. Oh my fuck. I'm an idiot.
Knowing what he's talking about very soon. Again, DSP is failing to see that it doesn't have to be a documentary exclusively about shitting on him for it to not paint him in a good light. And I think that that was really what was at the core of 1 Minute Man's message. That anything that's in the documentary that could be construed as negative is going to become he said, she said, and he's not going to be able to prove any of it. So he's just going to have to live with all of the negative consequences that come with the dumbass things that he decides to say. And again, he will absolutely hang himself with the rope given enough time.
And ultimately, Solo? What? Solo? White boy Carl?
That is so for you. Some more for you. Just enough.
Okay, it's okay, pay attention. Yeah. Okay. Oh, before we get the exotic, latest gameplay footage for Dragon's Dogma 2.
You speak when you're free right now.
The Jack part. Everybody says, demon stuff.
Got blue eyes, bro. Yo, look, you got blue eyes. Come here, come here.
Would you rather use
Yes.
if your windows, if you're looking
I've been in order spotted is that.
This is your champion.
I'm the jump master. Are we feeling a hot drop or?
Stay close. I'm the jump master. In. Hang on.
Let's explore this way. Jump ramped up. Don't worry about ring fry. We're in the next ring.
recharge my shields.
Reloading.
Reloading. Whole squad's down. We made the right choices. New kill leader appointed.
There's a new kill leader. That's a target on their back.
It's over here.
New kill leader. Wonder what the play was.
Half gone. Let's go over there.
Got you amped like a chin.
Void running. Let's check out that way. Might be something good this way. Contact with target. Let's go this way.
Engaging.
Got a replicator.
Throwing an arc star.
Need to recharge my.
I'm throwing a thermite. Throwing a thermite. Reloading. Recharging shield. Don't worry about me. seconds left. Recharging my shield. 10 seconds to the ring. Reloading. Just using a Phoenix kit. Heads up. The ring's moving. And healing up. Recharging my shield. One second. Care package. I'm opening a Phoenix kit. Setting you up. Patching myself up. Next ring's far. I'm healing up. Healing up. Eyes are open though. I'm healing up. 1 minute. Ring's not far. Replicator incoming. Release. Ring closes in 45 seconds. Ring closes in 30. We should get moving. Don't want to get toasted.
Yeah, I can't survive this.
The ring is near, but it closes in 10. Alice. Care package coming in. And healing up. Found extra supplies.
You idiot.
Do you know that thousands of man-eating... Where do you buy your freight?
I'm raising your rent next year. Then I guess I'm moving. Nothing like the annual game of chicken with my landlord. I love that lease renewals have become ransom. How long have you...
And with that, to...
And you?
Hey! Hey! A brand new episode.
$10 an hour, and don't ask questions, and I always pay cash. Alright? Think that rolled up to 18. In convict, don't even think about fucking with me. Do you hear me?
Breaker! I told you to clean up the scrap pile down there an hour ago. What is the holdup? I've been working the saw like you told me to. Jesus. You ex-cons are all exactly the same. Do you hear anything I say to you? I'll tell you what. Grab your shit and get out of here. You're fired. Do you hear that? Fuck off! You're fired! You okay? Somebody call 911. Don't down me, you son of a bitch. Don't die. Come on. Come on.
Recharging my shields. One sec.
I don't understand how I at least don't get like one. Like I lit his ass up. Same with that fucking guy. These guys kill me in like 2 fucking seconds. Oh, your boy. Oh, your boy. Needs a heal. Nothing even hit him? Like, why wouldn't I have even hit him?
Recharging my shield. Don't worry about me.
That's in this thing. There's no surprises or things. Like, oh my God, I didn't know that was going to be in it. No, I'm going to know everything that's in it. You got to understand something, right? This is going to be the one time in my life that I basically am going to allow something like this to happen. Meaning this level of trust, access. You know what I'm saying? This is a big liability for everyone involved, including Mike. If Mike accidentally puts something out in this documentary that then harms me, he's liable. You know?
And this is why I think that you can't really expect much more from the documentary other than DSP trying to paint himself in the best light possible and it just not coming across the way that he thinks it does. I obviously have no idea what kind of say he actually gets in what goes into and doesn't go into the documentary. But I don't think that DSP actually understands the situation given the way that he just said that. He says that if Mike Klum puts anything in the documentary that accidentally harms him, that he's going to be liable. Well, there's going to be so many things in the documentary guaranteed that are going to make you look bad. It's a documentary about you, DSP. Not only is it going to have the detractor stuff in it, which you've already confirmed, but obviously he's going to get some sort of outside perspectives like he did in the Boogie doc. And we've already talked about how any person outside of the snore text can instantly see through all of your bullshit, given about 5 minutes worth of footage. So I don't think that they're going to have very many kind things to say about you either. And we've also talked about already that DSP is his own worst enemy and can make even the most positive aspects of himself sound negative. So I guess he should just get his lawsuit in order now, because the documentary is absolutely not going to make him look good.
So you gotta be careful, that's what I mean. Like, we are being very careful about how this is going about. It's being done respectfully and fairly. And I think that's what people just don't understand. You have only seen negative stuff tossed towards me for so long. Everyone is shell-shocked from the negativity and can't possibly believe there'd be a real documentary about Darkseid Phil. Well, there's going to be. That's what this is going to be. And by the way, I can tell you guys, this is going to be fun. Okay? This is going to be interesting. There's going to be stuff in here you've never seen before, even if you're a staunch supporter or a staunch hater. There's going to be stuff in this documentary you've never seen before, or didn't know about, or it's going to be fleshed out to a level you never understood before because it never got to that level. Okay, so this is, I'm telling you, this is different. But I completely and utterly understand why people don't trust my game.
Well, I sure hope that you understand, DSP. I hope that you get it, because you are the reason that they don't trust anybody talking about you. You have ingrained in them this fear of the outside. They call you DSP cult leader for a reason. It's because you run your streams and control your audience as if they are a cult. Nobody from the outside is allowed to talk about you because everything they say is negative. They're out to hurt you and your audience. You are always manipulating your audience to think that other people who talk about you are lying about you and trying to hurt you. That you are just some sort of small-time creator who has never done anything wrong and just wants to put good content on the internet for his fans. And the people who actually like you for some reason believe this and become fearful of other content creators speaking about it because they don't want to see someone that they genuinely like being hurt like that. When you use moments like these to further reinforce this thinking, it's cyclical, really. It happens every time you do an interview where someone does a documentary about you. At first you're okay with it and you're very jovial about the entire thing, saying that this is your fair shake and that they're portraying you in a positive way that's very meaningful and truthful and very robust, obviously. And then as soon as you realize that it doesn't make you look as good as you think it should, you immediately turn heel and make it sound like you were betrayed and bamboozled, and now you are hurt, further reinforcing this fear of the outside that you have instilled in them, which makes them not watch other content creators, which makes them not explore other content on the internet in general. That way they come back every single day and only watch you. They only listen to what you have to say. They only listen to your opinion. You want these people to think that you are the be-all and end-all. And if you're sitting there saying that it's not that deep and I'm going too far, that I'm taking this too seriously, I just want you to genuinely think about all of the interactions that he's pretty much had with any other content creator on the platform.
He's done one documentary so far. That's his only track record. It was a documentary about, super dark and sad, because that's what they were going for. And there's not been a single real person on YouTube, besides some people could argue the quarter, maybe a fair interview many years ago, right? But outside of that, everyone's always out for themselves.
And I know I just interrupted, but I think that it's so funny that he has consistently been saying that no one gives him a fair shake and that no one actually listens to his side of the story. And this is the first time ever. But he just acknowledged that the Bordering gave him a fairly neutral interview way back when. But he completely just pushes it off to the side and doesn't want to acknowledge it or actually talk about it. But even that interview, as neutral as it was, didn't actually do anything positive decided to help him. He didn't prove any detractors wrong. He didn't prove his innocence in any circumstance. Instead, it was just another instance of DSP being very weird interacting with another human being and just being himself. Which, I hate to keep reiterating this, is harmful enough to DSP's image. He is his own worst enemy.
Right? Who's always trying to make a buck on my behalf. Anything they say negative gets a rise out of the viewing audience, so just go with the judgment, right? That's not what this is. Trust me, I wouldn't be involved with this if that's not what this is. This is not some kind of a crazy bait and switch, okay? So, don't worry about it, okay? And what's absolutely hilarious is insane conspiracy theorists. Oh,
Should be there. Maybe it's not reset.
It's funded by Keemstar? What are you talking about?
That's weird.
What?
That's kind of what I'm...
Oh, never updated. That's cool. What a great setup. There we go. My bad. Thanks for your help, buddy. Yeah, that was weird. I just needed a refresh, I guess. I gotta go. I don't want to go to work. Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Recharging shields.
Sure.
I guess I found your off switch.
And then somehow you got me. I'm sure that entire spread fucking missed you.
DSP, why
Okay, well, sadly, I gotta
go. I've seen it in your chat, and I've heard it outside of your chat as well. But at the end of the day, it's just a nothing and nonsense conspiracy. A ha ha ha, what if kind of thought.
No, he's not funded by people. Where's your evidence?